What's up, y'all? I was watching this video. I watched like half of it, and there was like two parts to this video, kind of. And as I was watching it, I realized that I didn't only wanted to watch it. I also want to comment it because there's some pretty interesting discussion here to be unraveled. So let's get to it, shall we?
What's up, everyone? It's Endymion, and as you're probably aware, the hotly anticipated...
Oh yeah, this video is Baldur's Gate 3 proves modern gaming is getting worse, plus Western devs attack Larian Studios' success. I just want to say that I never played Baldur's Gate 3 yet, so I've seen some spoilers. I've seen like Aspen and Ares from Avoiding the Puddle playing it on their stream. I thought the game was pretty cool. It really reminded me of that sweet gameplay from Dragon Age Origins, which is a game that I really like. I kind of want to play it, to be honest, but I'm afraid I might get addicted to it, so I won't have like any progress on Purgai. But I feel like, I mean, this channel is, obviously about Purgai, but I feel like there's like an interesting discussion regarding game design in this video and the state of the industry, so I think it's interesting to bring it to my channel.
Anticipated Baldur's Gate 3 has finally come out on PC, with the console versions releasing in September for us peasants such as myself.
Wait, so they released a PC before the console? Normally it's the other way around. That's actually kind of cool.
The game has been a massive success story for Larian Studios, who has had one hell of a comeback the past decade with the Divinity Original Sin games, which I beat both.
I want to play the Divinity games. Do I have it on Steam? Hold on. I don't even know what games I have on Steam anymore. No, I don't. That's probably why I never played it. Man, I heard good things about that game. Looks like it's a really good game. But I don't know, I never played any Baldur's Gate game before. So, I don't know.
Both of them, and yeah, I highly recommend them. Players are praising Baldur's Gate 3 due to its breadth of content, incredible branching paths of story, and character customization.
Is that old Asmongold?
To name just a few of the highlights of this landmark title.
Yeah, that's Asmongold, but old. This is what he's gonna look like. Wait, but he has too much hair.
And its Metacritic and user score are not only surprising,
Damn.
but insanely weird.
Damn.
With this game being one of the only big
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not like faking reactions. It's just that like I actually forgot a lot about this video. It's my ADHD, bro. It is what it is. So you'd be surprised how much I remember things, and it's not a lot.
Releases in years that I can think of anyway that has gotten this glowing of a reception. In a lot of ways, Baldur's Gate 3's success is to CRPGs what Elden Ring was to action open world RPGs.
Also a game that I never
Elden
played.
Ring and BG3 have a striking similarity amongst them.
I mean, I don't know, like the thing with me and like Souls-like is that like I played Demon Souls and I hated it. Then again, I did play a little bit of Dark Souls with a friend, and I kind of liked it. But yeah, Demon Souls kind of traumatized me. That game, unpopular opinion, Demon Souls is bad. Hate me for saying this, but I think Demon Souls is bad. I think it's like I feel like it's a product of its time. I guess it's interesting because it takes gaming to a different direction. But so many decisions made in that game are just so terrible. It's just terrible. It's a trash game, honestly. I'm sorry, dude. Like,
As well. And it's not that they're both incredibly well made, offer loads of options, and have zero microtransactions, but that Baldur's Gate 3, like Elden Ring before it, over-delivers on its promise, and this has worried and pissed off many developers and other gaming studios. When Elden Ring released,
which is BS, but we're gonna talk about it.
We had Horizon Zero Dawn and Ubisoft employees complaining they couldn't understand why fans...
Dude, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like, okay, I don't wanna talk shit about a game for the way it looks, but Horizon Zero Dawn looks really bad. and it like I know people who play the game and liked it, and I can respect that. But it's not exactly my cup of tea, and it's not the kind of game that I would buy. Let's just say that.
Were so crazy about Elden Ring. Elden Ring was attacked because it was full of content and had more gameplay options than anything else on the market. It was also attacked because it didn't hold players' hands and gave more content than Western devs were used to delivering. Basically, they hated Elden Ring because it was a true video game that cared about its consumers, which is something sadly a ton of Western games these days regretfully just can't understand. And like that game, Baldur's Gate 3 is in similar hot water amongst the creators.
One thing that I don't like about Souls like I love playing Devil's Advocate, by the way. One thing that I don't like about Souls like game is that there is this illusion that the game is hard, but like the Souls game were designed to be beaten. Every boss in the game was designed to be like defeatable. So, which is not the same that you could say about any Street Fighter player, like Punk the God, or I guess I could say Punk, like or like Snake Eyes or Smug. You know, these players, they don't train, they don't practice on Street Fighter 6 in order to be beaten. They practice to be unbeatable, which is why I prefer a lot more like PvP games. Like, this is why I am working on a PvP game. I just really prefer like PvP games over single play. Even when there's like this illusion of the game being hard, but in reality, it's like I feel like I feel like when the game is hard, really what it is just that like the game has less ways that it, like gives you like, how can I say? I don't want to say it's harder, because it's not. It's like a very lazy way to put it. I feel like it's more like there's less ways to beat a boss in a game that is hard, but you still have like a lot of like cheesy gimmicks that you can do in order to beat every single Elden Souls boss without ever taking damage, and you can do that consistently in speedruns. So, yeah. It's like I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like once you learn a little bit about like game design, these games kind of die a little bit for you.
Creative types. According to GameWorldObserver.com, with their article titled "Why Devs Consider Baldur's Gate 3 Anomaly Not New Standard for RPG Genre," is Rockstar.
Dude, this is so tone deaf. Like, could they have picked a more, like, could they have picked a worse choice of words for this game? Like, oh, it's an anomaly. It's like, what do you mean anomaly? Because like normally anomaly is like, it's something you use for something that is bad, like a mutation. It's not something you say like, oh, it's not like the word. It's not like they said it's exotic. It's an exotic game. It's different. No, they say like it's an anomaly. It's disgusting. It's weird. It's different, and we don't like it. It's such a poor choice of words for people who just have not touched grass ever. It's so strange. Like, not new standard for RPG genre. Like, fuck you're talking about? It's Rockstar level nonsense for scope. It's like, I mean, imagine like you're working on a AAA studio and you're arguing about games being too big. I mean, you are in a AAA studios. You have the budget to make big games. You are supposed to be making big games. It is expected of you to do that. With the big budget, the huge team of 3,000 people or more, and you can't make like a big game? It's like, that's so weird. It looks like one of the most promising RPGs. Oh my gosh, it's just my god.
level nonsense for scope. A lot of this discourse started where
Wait, wasn't Hogwarts like a big game? It was, right? It was a pretty big game, too, as well. I guess it wasn't as big.
indie game
Oh well.
developer named Xavier Nelson Jr. tweeted that BG3 success will only harm the future.
Also, what the hell is wrong with Rockstar games? Aren't like I thought people loved those. I mean, again, I'm not a huge fan of Rockstar games. Like, one thing about me is that like, my brain is like very, how can I put it? My brain has a hard time generating, not serotonin. What is the word? Dopamine. So a lot of games for me are just not fun. A lot of games that people like are not fun for me. So that's why I don't play like a lot of popular games that people like.
The releases of other games due to its quality. He said things such as, like a lot of people, I'm deeply excited about what the lovely folks at Larian accomplished with Baldur's Gate 3. But I
But
want to gently, preemptively push back against players taking that excitement and using it to apply criticism or a raise standard to RPGs going forward.
dude, what is wrong with these people? It's like, imagine. Oh my gosh. Imagine if this was food. Imagine if this was food. Like, imagine, like, it's like, oh, I'm glad you went to Italy and proved real Italian cuisine, and it was awesome. I just hope you don't come here with these standards, because we're not going to serve you good Italian food. No, we're going to serve you terrible Italian food, and you're going to pay for it. Yeah. It's like, what? Fuck you, I would never go to your restaurant if you tell me that. This is insanity. It's like, the hell? Like,
Forward. This is not a new baseline for RPGs, this is an anomaly.
like, dude, okay, so he started like, excuse me. I am so excited about this game. This is gonna be awesome. Next to it, this piece of shit is a fucking anomaly. I hate it. Like, what the hell? The fuck? What is wrong with you? It's like, just say it. I don't like the game. I hate it. Like, I'm jealous. I'm envious. I think they should die. I don't know. Just be honest. Like, this is triggering me, dude. Trying to add the same thing in the same way, especially for the same advantages could. Oh, so it could kill an entire group of game devs who don't honor their pay? Good. Great. Kill them. Not literally, of course. But fire them. Sure, I'm down. Fire them. Fire these lazy Blizzard devs who are making terrible Diablo patches. I'm all for it. Like, this is what we want. What? What, you guys think we care about the devs who make the game? Only if they're good. If they're bad, we don't care. The hell?
Trying to do the same thing in the same way, especially without the same advantage.
By the way, I'm being harsh because they're being harsh. Okay? It's like, the moment you allow yourself to be harsh towards others, you allow yourself to receive harsh words. Okay?
Advantages could kill an entire group of studios. So please celebrate the achievement represented by Baldur's Gate 3. It looks like a massive amount of effort is about to pay off in a big way for one of the brightest voices in the medium. But if you shout that every RPG should be like this going forward, you have no excuse. You've not just missed the point, you've created the expectations and conditions to ensure your favorite creators may never be able to give you the thing you love ever again. Then you have
Are you insane? It's like, oh, you should not expect for good games? Huh? Then why are you advertising the games? Why are you making, I'm sorry, why are you making trailers? If they're a piece of shit, as you say, if the games you are working on, Mr. Zalavier, what the hell is this? Sorry. Nelson Jr. If the games you are making are terrible and they're a piece of shit, then why advertise them? Why make trailers and teasers? Why would you? Nah, like don't even publish them if they suck. I don't want shitty games. I don't want to buy shitty games. No, I want to play good games. I just said about how Rockstar games are not fun for me. Rockstar games. Can you understand like the level of expectations? Like how good a game has to be in order for me to like it? Fucking insane.
Favorite creators may never be able to give you the thing you love ever again. Then you have other game devs like James Berg who also said things about Baldur's Gate 3. I would not be surprised if this was more dev effort than the next 2 or 3 games in the genre combined. It's Rockstar level nonsense for me.
Rockstar level nonsense. What do you have against Rockstar? Like, I kind of want to see if anyone from Rockstar responded to this idiot. What is his Twitter? James Berg, Canada. I guess this is the tweet, right? Oh, did he deleted the Twitter? Did he deleted his Twitter? Oh, no way, dude. James Borg, or did he like locked his account? Okay, for reals, does that look like a winner to you? For anyone who is watching this react, does he look like a winner? Let's be honest. I don't think. Hold on, just 1 second. I'm gonna close the. Just close the door so my mom doesn't have to listen to my own sister. Anyway, yeah, like what the hell, dude? It's like, I mean, he knows he fucked up. He knows he fucked up. Like, it's like he knows he is in the wrong. Okay, he just knows it. All right.
For scope, only a few studio groups could even try this. I cannot wait to play, but this kind of effort likely won't be replicated this decade. While I understand BG3's success and scope would make...
That's not true. Dragon Age came in the same decade. Like, 3 Dragon Age games actually came in the same decade as Skyrim, as The Witcher 3, right? Those are massive RPG games from last decade. Like, what? Can he predict the future? Can he say, like, I can sense that nobody's ever gonna make another big RPG ever again? Like, what? Are you insane? Are you having a stroke right now, my dude? What the fuck is wrong with you? Insanity.
Studio shutter since there's no way they can achieve that level of sheer content.
Again, I'm being harsh to them because they are being harsh to the folks who worked on Baldur's Gate 3, and that's not fair. That's not fair at all. They should be praised. And don't give me this bullshit of like, oh, we love you guys. You guys are so awesome. We love you. But your game fucking sucks. You guys are shit. Oh my god, you guys are so stupid. How dare you make a good game? No, no. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Be real. Be real. You hate these guys. You fucking hate these people because they make good games and you don't. And you're jealous. And you're anxious. Be real. Be honest.
I think people like Zalavier and James are also kind of what's wrong with Western gaming lately as well. I don't need to tell you that currently, right now, there's a lot of garbage coming out of Western studios.
Yep.
There's far too many live service games with microtransactions,
Mm-hmm.
battle passes, or games
Yep, battle
launching that
passes, gotta have
barely
battle
even
passes.
work and constantly crash. Just like
Yep.
with Star Wars Jedi Survivor when that released on PC, the game was a mess.
I mean, about like this whole like games that don't work. I tell people to do this, they never do it. So we're not gonna watch his videos, but I'm just going to point. I'm just going to point towards the way. This is Sandy Peterson. He worked on Doom and Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3. I think he worked on he worked on some of the expansions for Age of Empires 3 and Age of Empires 1, and then he worked full time on Age of Empires 2, and the Conquerors expansion. He is a great. He is probably one of the best game designers ever. He made like this wonderful series of like where is it? About about his trajectory on the gaming industry. Here, right here. Tales from Dark Days of Ensemble Studios. Like this is, I mean, if you don't want to watch the whole series, which you probably should, where he starts at Chaosium and then he goes to Id Studios, make like work on Doom, and then he goes to Ensemble. I mean, if you are a aspiring game designer, then I have no idea why you haven't watched this guy yet, or never heard of him or whatever. But you certainly want to watch these two parts of his trajectory on Ensemble Studios, like his tales from Ensemble Studios. He would tell how Ensemble Studios worked and why it worked so good. Like why Ensemble Studios was so consistent at delivering good RTS after good RTS. You gotta remember, there was a lot of RTS back in the 2000s and the 90s, and Ensemble Studios were like on top of it. They were only losing to Blizzard, and it was Blizzard back then. Like, they were massive at the time. But yeah, they were beating Command and Conquer. They were beating Settlers, the guys who they took inspiration from, And the most important thing that he says, not just here, but in his channel in general, he tells about how important and how serious Ensemble Studios was about playtesting the games. This is like, Ensemble Studios was unique because of this, because they were the company, making your own games, like on this, like, making your own game 2 out of 3, he talked about how it's important to playtest as well. Ensemble Studios would religiously playtest with different groups. They would always have like one designer, not a lead, a designer, sitting on a table with a notebook like this and some pens, and he would be like writing, like what he was observing from the playtesting shit. Like what he was noticing, that players are having like too much difficulty with this aspect of the game, blah blah blah, or players are spamming too much like Bretons, longbowmans, because they were OP apparently at one point. They still are actually, right? I mean, Bretons are a really crazy OP archer civilization. He would tell about like dude, they would spend like 3 to maybe even 5 years just play testing the game nonstop. And like not only would they have like different teams and they would have like designers be part of it, but they would also, and this was like unique, they were the only company who did this. They would also have a team with all the programmers and all the designers, and they would play like at different times, right? And so that the programmers can feel what they're programming and the designers could feel what they were designing into the game. So like, dude, game devs in Ensemble Studios, they were like, it was mandatory for them to play the game. It was like they were literally obliged. They had to play the game. Meanwhile, and I mean, you guys probably seen this. There was like a video posted by Blizzard Studios. They put like 2 game devs who were completely clueless about the game. They clearly never played a game in their lives. That's awful. That is terrible. Like it's bad. I mean, they probably played the game a little bit because they knew like some what the skills did, and they didn't die. So I guess they knew a little bit. But you could tell that like that they weren't playing as well or as much as they should, you know. And nowadays AAA studios are just like they're just like they are treating game testers as shit. I heard this from 2 different game testers. By the way, they are treated like shit. They're being underpaid. They're not being respected. There's like this useless fucking job, which is the lead. He's not a designer. He's a lead, and the only thing that he does is like he's basically like a secretary. Oh my god, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And like, it's like game testers, like they will tell you in your face, like, yes, we're not being respected, and nobody cares. Like, companies don't care about game testing, and I don't even know why they're paying us at this point, because nothing we say matters. The bugs that we find are never fixed. Like, they find bugs, they report the bugs, and the bugs are not fixed. What the hell?
And it had the backing of a massive game company and Disney, and it was based on one of the largest IPs in the world. Yet even then, PC players were given a broken game and expected to pay full price to play it anyway. I think we can all agree that when it comes to modern gaming, for the most part, when you buy a game on release, there's a really good chance you're basically buying a game to be a beta tester. Of course, there are some games that release that both,
especially if it's an online game like an MMO or whatever,
work well and have the polish that players expect for the money that they spend. Final Fantasy 16 is a great example of this.
I love this boss fight. I watched this boss fight on Asmongold's live stream. It was really cool to see that. It was crazy cool.
These games all actually deliver on what they promise, and in my opinion, they also justify their price tags. But there's also this weird mantra when it comes to modern video games, which is that it seems like game devs purposely try to not over-deliver.
By the way, one thing that I want to say, like on a positive note, I think this year is being very positive for games. I think we are having really good games in this year. Like, we had Hogwarts Legacy, we had Street Fighter 6, which is awesome. We had Final Fantasy 16. We had House of Torment on the indie spectrum, and I mentioned Hogwarts. Resident Evil Remake also. It's like we are having good games this year. It's not probably, like, maybe it's not as much as we could have, but we are having like a pretty decent year for games. I don't think that this is like I've seen people saying, oh, this year is awful and every single game is terrible. No, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. This is a good year, like, for sure.
Because they don't want to give more content or polish than they think that they need to. I think the real reason why devs have unanimously agreed on this bizarre don't over-deliver tactic is because it creates a baseline to give thousands of devs room to release games of varying quality that either work fine or not at all at release, and this is just how things are apparently. But I personally believe
it's so lazy.
is encouraged because because it allows game studios to deliver less content while still reaping the rewards. A great example of this act.
Dude, remember when I mentioned? I mean, I don't want to make this about me, but remember when I mentioned that sometimes I playtest Per Guy with myself because like for long periods of time I can't find anyone to playtest with me. Like, do you think these guys would do this for you? Because I don't think they would. You know, which is like something that I really like about indie devs. You know, like they're a lot more down to earth. They touch grass on a frequent basis. I am. I mean, it's not just indie games. Like some studios, like the Elden Ring studios, like they're working on a new game. It looks pretty good. It looks promising. Square Enix, they still seem to be very committed. Like I am a big fan of Square Enix. Like I always enjoy the games that they make, like Kingdom Hearts and like Deus Ex. Really Tomb Raider also. I'm a huge fan of Square Enix, bro. Namco Bandai also working hard, making good games. Like it's not the end of the world. Like it's not as if like every single company was Blizzard. That's not true. There are companies that are still working really hard to make good games, and I thank the Lord for it. But the ones that are, and they're being so lazy, and they're attacking everyone who is like trying to make a good game. It's just so disheartening to see, man.
Actually, is the whole Destiny 2 controversy right now. In case you don't know about that, Bungie released a state of the game where they basically confirmed that they were all but dropping core game modes and would no longer be adding new armor sets to the game every season because of low adoption rates, according to Bungie. But fans quickly pointed out that the armor that has low adoption rates usually looks like ass, since all the actual good sets and weapon skins are all placed behind Eververse, which is Destiny 2's microtransaction store. Bungie also said that making games is hard and players should be more realistic with their expectations. They also stated during...
Imagine you go to a construction company and you say like, "Oh, I want a building." And they're like, "Well, okay, but the building might fall." And you say like, "What do you mean the building? Like, the building, after we make the building, it might collapse." And you're like, "What do you mean the building might collapse?" "Well, it's because making buildings is hard." Would you hire that company to make a building for you? Be honest. Yeah, no, we might have like a second 9/11 because we don't know how to make buildings. But, it is what it is, right? Making buildings is hard. Like, would anyone in their right mind hire a company like this?
A games developer conference that over-delivering can hurt your game and set patterns that make future content unable to deliver. Bungie...
By the way, Bungie used to have like on their studios, on their wall, they used to have like a line saying like, gameplay first, fun should always come first. And as of recent, I think like it was like 2 years ago or something, they changed the line to something stupid like, "Oh, we make games for our friends," or something. So like, that's very telling, isn't it?
Bungie even believes previous releases like the Witch Queen expansion to be an example of over-delivering. Yet players loved that expansion because it not only added new game mechanics, it had a good raid and an excellent story. It actually felt worth the money that you spent on it. Then you fast forward to this year's release with Lightfall, and the community's nuclear reaction to it was the opposite of Witch Queen. Lightfall felt pointless, rushed, had a terrible story and campaign, and besides a new subclass, it's largely considered a blight on Destiny's history. But to Bungie, Lightfall falls in line with what fans should expect. But the problem here is that...
Dude, imagine a company saying like, you should expect that, like, you should expect our games to be shit. you should expect our patches to be awful. It's like, wait, you were expecting good? Why are you expecting good? We suck. Don't you know that we suck? Why were you expecting good? What is wrong with you? We suck. We suck at our jobs. Why are you expecting good things from us? You should just understand that we suck. We can't work for the life of us. We are useless. And we're garbage. Like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Jeez. Expecting good patches from us? How dare you?
Lightfall has less content than Witch Queen, but it was also sold for a higher price than Witch Queen as well. Meaning Bungie effectively gave their but to besides a new subclass.
Why is the steam on his head floating if there is nowhere in space?
It's largely considered a blight on Destiny, but was sold for a higher price than Witch Queen as well. Meaning Bungie effectively gave their player base less content of a much lower quality and made more money in the end. It's a win for the studio financially, but Bungie instead paid the price with a loss of credibility, player satisfaction, and now with this state of the game nonsense, the community's faith in Bungie is at an all-time low now. But in terms of what devs like Xalavier and James said previously, what Bungie did by under-delivering is seen as good in their eyes, yet it's opposite for the paying customer. It honestly seems like consumers...
Dude, the worst of all is that, like, unironically, this guy, like, this looks cool. This looks cool. Like, this guy with, like, steam, like, with a hair made of steam or something, it looks conceptually cool. It looks visually appealing. Like, this could have been a good patch. This could have been like the revival of Destiny 2 as a MMO or something. You know, this is... It's like someone put effort into it. Someone put work into it. But everyone else didn't. And it's just sad to see. You know, it's not how things should be, man.
Did by under-delivering is seen as good in their eyes, yet it's opposite for the paying customer. It honestly seems like consumers and devs are at a crossroads where both parties have wildly different expectations of the other. And with Baldur's Gate 3's massive release with its over-delivering and sheer amount of content and quality, it's the exact opposite of Destiny's Lightfall. Fans are happy to buy BG3 because...
To be honest, I don't think that Baldur's Gate over-delivered. I think it delivered. Like, games are supposed to be fun. In my opinion, there's no such thing as very fun, hyper fun, extremely fun. There's only fun. Baldur's Gate is fun. It's not, oh my god, it's so much fun! If I play this once, I will never be bored again. No. It's just, it's fun. It's a good thing to play. You know? No. And it's like you either deliver or you don't. There's no over-deliver, under-deliver. Like, no. You either deliver or you don't. And they delivered. They did a good job. Destiny 2, not so much. Like,
because it
get
respects
real.
Their time and money and doesn't constantly ask players to buy nonsense like weapon skins or armor constantly. But to devs, they hate it because it doesn't fit into this new age model of what games should be. I also find it interesting that when Destiny releases a crap expansion, a lot of these devs are silent. But whenever a game actually meets audience expectations like Elden Ring or BG3, interesting that
that's a
when
good point.
Destiny releases a crap expansion, a lot of these devs are silent. But whenever a game actually meets audience expectations like Elden Ring or BG3, they unanimously assemble to tear these games down. The
Swords are revealing light.
Don't want Elden Ring and
okay, so this is a good point. Whenever a game that is bad is released, all of these devs, like the Horizon Zero Dawn devs, are silent. They don't say anything. By the way, like, to be honest, I feel like the Horizon Zero Dawn devs, they are kind of underplaying themselves. I don't think they're that bad. I don't think the game is that bad. I just think the game looks like shit. It looks fun, I guess. Maybe the game is fun, but it looks like shit. Um, Whenever a game that is bad is released, the Horizon Zero Dawns are silent. Which brings it to my point. They're not. They're not harassing the Baldur's Gate 3 and its devs because of. Um, they're not doing it because of. Um, how can I say? They're not doing it because of the reasons that they say they're like the reasons that they are using are a obvious lie. It's a clear lie. Like it's bullshit, right? You can tell it is bullshit because it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't hold up in a conversation. The actual reason why they are attacking Baldur's Gate and they're staying silent of bad games is because they're not jealous of bad games. They're only jealous of good games that are better than the games that they're making. That's what's happening.
Baldur's Gate 3 to become the norm because they don't want the norm to become over-delivering. But the truth is that today's
it's just jealousy.
Was 10 or 20 years ago.
Like, the human mind is as simple as it seems. Like, it's not as deep as, like, oh no, it's because they have, like, they may have this complexity of, like, maybe they are over. No, they're just jealous. They're just jealous. That's it. They're lazy. They can't make the games that I forgot the Baldur's Gate studio name. Amplitude? I forgot. They can't make games like those, and they're jealous. So there you go.
It goes industry standard. It's likely why we haven't seen a new Elder Scrolls in forever, because a game like Skyrim, if it were released today as a brand new game, in terms of scope...
As one goat said once, that, like, if you want to know how a game is good or bad, just look for the games that are like that Fox News are talking shit about. The games that Fox News is saying that is harmful for their children. This is outdated. I don't think that holds on anymore. I think nowadays, if you want to know if a game is really good or not, is if other game devs are jealous of it. By the way, this is also happening on the indie spectrum. Indie devs are jealous of Vampire Survivors. They're jealous because, the same reason, because Vampire Survivors is a good, successful game, and as you know, it's hard to make it as an indie dev to have like a successful game, or to make a good game, really, when you don't have like the funds and the marketing to sell your game and all that nonsense. It's just jealousy. Like, it's honestly just envy.
Content, story, and so on, these same devs would attack it because it would be over-delivering in their words. Other devs like Spellforce 3's Rebecca Harwick said, this whole thread, you can't be...
Spellforce 3? Oh, I like that game though, man. Nah, man. Come on. No, don't do that. Nah, man. Now you're just doing me dirty. Dude, I liked Spellforce 3. Like, I know it was a flop. It was a huge failure. I wish it wasn't. I liked the game. It was fun. But, the RTS genre is dead. And you have to over-deliver in order to make a good RTS game, I think. Because I think you can still revive... 100%. You can totally... revive a genre, because Capcom did it with Street Fighter 4. The fighting game genre was dead until Street Fighter 4. No longer. It's alive and kicking, and it's as live as it could be nowadays. I mean, Street Fighter 6 came out this year, and it's amazing. You guys should buy it. I'm just saying, you guys never tried fighting games? Maybe you should try Street Fighter 6. It's very casual friendly, actually.
Appalled about how much big games cost to make, and make those lavish productions the standard by which all games are judged. I hope Baldur's Gate 3 is a generous, once-in-lifetime RPG. I hope
not.
Expects a 10, 20, 40-person team to make one.
Imagine unironically saying that AAA companies are small indie companies, small indie studios. Unironically saying that. You guys want to see something? Let's see 10 to 40 people, right? 10 to 40 people are working on these games, right? Okay. It's Blizzard, small indie company, small indie company. So we are gonna count to see if Diablo 4, how many devs there are between, whether it has 10 or 40, right? Let me put it on mute because I don't want to get flabbergasted. And let's put it on double speed because we don't have all day. Game design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Wait. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Wait, what? There's more than 40 people working on this indie game? But this was made by a small indie studio with the budget to buy a toaster. What? Were these people working for free? What the hell? What is going on? I thought this was made by a small indie studio. Come on, man. Grow up. Oh my god, it's so stupid. And this is the person who worked on Spellforce 3, which is a good game.
Lessons from Baldur's Gate and Elden Ring. We understand that not every game will be utterly massive like the Lands Between. But I think more so than anything, players want games to have quality be the utmost importance to devs. Elden Ring alone has more combat and weapon options than Baldur's.
Dude, imagine working your ass to make a game, and then other people from the industry who don't work their ass to make a game talk shit about your game. Imagine how fun does it feel. Imagine how cool that is. Like you spend days without sleeping to make a game, and there's this people talking shit about your work.
Multiple AAA games combined.
So disrespectful.
Baldur's Gate 3 has more
So disrespectful.
playability than the greatest of roguelikes. They don't want these games to become the norm because if they do, it'll expose their games for being shitty and greedy, and that's what this is all about. They don't want players to expect actual quality games because it means these devs have to do more than the bare minimum when it comes to making them. And the Rockstar level nonsense line is also tone deaf, since yet again, devs are hating on games that are far more profitable and quality made than their own. Sure, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a cash cow full of microtransactions, but at least at its core, I think people will agree that it's a quality product. It looks great, it has a huge
Yes.
world with tons of content, and the physics...
Even though I don't like it, I can see why it's a good game.
To great and hilarious effect. They're tearing down Baldur's Gate 3 because it proves that games can still be great and profitable. But BG3 is also an anomaly in today's world because today's games are largely unfinished, unplayable messes at release. Or they underdeliver on purpose while charging more like Destiny does.
That's so disgusting, dude.
Larian is already in the crosshairs of the...
Larian, that's the studio.
Since Larian's CEO, Sven Vick, confirms that Microsoft has approached them about buying the entire company. But Swen assures fans Larian will stay independent, saying, "I'm getting older, but I'm certainly not done yet. The strength of this company is that I'm very invested in the gameplay.
Based.
And I also make the ultimate decisions. We can do things in service of the games we're making." With Swen clarifying that his problem with Mega Corpos is that profit is always more important than gameplay or quality.
Yes.
And that Baldur's Gate 3's reception is proof that Larian cares about its players and their reputation far more than just milking them for eternity. And really, how many game devs these days can you really say have that same mentality?
You see, okay, whose people, like, I mean, who deserve more respect? The guys who are like they don't want to be acquired because they believe in the passion for games, or the jealous, lazy guys who don't honor their payment. They're being paid. They don't honor it. They don't give a shit. They don't care. Who are talking shit about these wonderful people. You think Adam Smith deserves to wake up, look at Twitter, and see that like his favorite devs are talking shit about his work? I don't think he deserves it. I think he did a good job. I think he deserves to be praised and to be admired for his work in this game.
Chasing the bag seems to be these days.
Also, Adam Smith, isn't that the name of a American philosopher or something?
Really say have that same.
I think it is,
mentality.
right?
Chasing the bag
Nice
seems
name.
to be all these AAA studios do these days. Besides Bungie milking their player base and then crying saying making games is too hard, you have BioWare, who used to be like Larry until they stopped making games like Mass Effect, and decided it was time for the studio to make a live service game, which is how Anthem came to be. This cultural and tonal shift in modern gaming has honestly ruined a lot of these companies. I wouldn't be surprised if the original Mass Effect trilogy, by today's standards, is also over-delivering in modern game devs' eyes as well.
The worst of all is that like I feel like Anthem, if it wasn't successful and it wasn't a flop, I think that Anthem would eventually become as bad as Destiny 2 is right now. Because of they would probably use the same practices as Bungie.
It seems like every great game that actually tries to be a fun game first is more a problem. It seems like every great game that actually
one thing.
tries to be a...
Look how cool this world looks like. Like there's like the statue of a Scylla with a Hydra or some kind of like crazy monster like that in the middle of a city, and it looks awesome. You know, like when I was envisioning the world of Purga, that's kind of what I was going for. Like, you know, I'm not gonna pull my game. I'm not gonna pull Demo Step Simulator. I mean, this is a good example. How can I say? How can I explain? Like some of these words, right? Some of these places, right? I wanted to make like a word that feels different, you know? Like urban fantasy with hints of cyberpunk, like, you know, I wanted to do something like I actually had to remake every single card because at one point I changed like the flavor of the lore. Like originally it was supposed to be like there was like a medieval continent, like a whole continent which was like fully medieval, and then there was like a continent that was like urban, right? Like today's technology. And then I changed so that like the other continent was sci-fi and then the other continent was like urban, so that I could have like something that is a little bit more realistic and a little bit more interesting, like different. So we have like these, like for example, these goblins who wear like clothes, like normal clothes, you know, like because they're not like in medieval times or anything. They are like in a society that has like our technology, right? It's like I try to make a word that feels different. Like I put into the effort of making like something that doesn't look like a, because I mean let's be kind of real, like some of these games like Anthem, Destiny, like they feel generic, right? They feel like, I mean, they're pretty much just ripping off Warframe, and it's like you could print screen like Destiny and Warframe and Anthem, and people wouldn't be able to tell which game is which, right? It's that
A
bad.
fun game first is more a problem than the tsunami of free to play nonsense out there. They simply do not want quality and sheer quantity of content to be the norm. They want to gaslight people and make them feel sorry for the devs while also charging insane prices for games that secretly make every paying customer into a beta tester. To be real with you, it's just so tiring. Larian warms my heart since when you look at whether Baldur's Gate 3 has any microtransactions on.
I wish these like AAA devs would work on a professional kitchen, because in a professional kitchen, try telling your customer, your clients, that the food is going to take 10 minutes delay because the head chef is in tears because he was offended, he was misgendered or something. Try telling that to a customer and see what happens. That's the real word.
On the official store, it says, "There are no in-game purchases in our game. We believe in providing a complete and immersive gaming experience without the need for additional purchases. Enjoy the game to its fullest without any additional costs or microtransactions." Like, what the hell, right? This should be the standard going forward, but it isn't.
Can you actually do that?
What the hell, right? This should be the
Can you actually like start fights with civilians and destroy the city or something? Because if you can do that, then it's pretty cool.
standard going forward, but it isn't.
I love games that allow you to do that.
2023, there's a big budget AAA RPG game that not only respects its players but also their wallets. This game honestly doesn't
Yes.
feel real, so it's no wonder why other devs hate it. And it's incredibly eye-opening when you place BG3 up against other huge RPGs this year like Diablo 4, which not only has a premium battle pass but also an entire online store full of sets that cost as much as in.
Now, from what I understand about Diablo 4, I didn't play the game. I'm not a huge fan of games like Diablo. I played Torchlight 2, and I could barely finish it. I don't know, it's just not for me. From what I understand, this game is fun on a casual level. Like, if you were like a casual player, you can play it, you can have fun, you can have like, I think it's like 18, 24 hours of casual fun. But if you go hard in the game, then the game becomes really bad because the game doesn't respect its more like hardcore players. Like, it doesn't have good late game content, which I guess it's like understandable because it's hard to do late game content. And to be honest, that they might be able to fix it actually, because they did it with Diablo 3. They actually managed to fix Diablo 3 with the there was expansion, I forgot the name, but it was the expansion where there was like that angel of death. I used to play that guy in Heroes of the Storm. You guys know which one. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Entire video game.
But yeah, like I think Diablo 4 is salvageable actually, contrary to public belief.
Diablo 4 also got into trouble when the first season of that game went live because the devs on purpose placed the button to buy their premium battle pass directly where players access the
Blizzard would change a button. What?
map. With it to buy either higher video games. Diablo 4 also got into trouble when the first season of that game went live because the devs on purpose placed the button to buy their premium battle pass directly where players access the map, with the pass being bought without any confirmation. So like
Nah. You're trolling. Nah. Dude, no. You're making this up. No. There's no way this is legal. Is that legal? Okay, I said something about Diablo being salvageable. Forget it. It's done. It's done. It's not salvageable. Like, you can't fix her. Give up. Give up on this game. Uninstall. Ask for a refund immediately. Go away. Run.
likely thousands of players of Diablo 4 mistakenly bought the battle pass by accident, and no, Blizzard will not refund those who did it. Don't you
You're
just
trolling.
love these modern gaming companies?
You're
And the
trolling.
disrespect of modern gaming doesn't even end there, since Red Dead Redemption just got an official release on Switch and PS4. The game is $50 American at launch, and oh, by the way, this is a re release. That's all it is, a re release.
No,
This
man.
version of Red Dead is the exact same game back on the Xbox 360 and PS3.
Bruh.
There's no visual enhancements, no 60 FPS, or added bells and whistles. Rockstar literally
I mean, if it had any visual enhancement, it wouldn't run on the Switch. But $50?
just released the same game as it was over 10 years ago for almost the same price as Baldur's Gate 3 at launch. So when I say
Bruh.
that these companies and their studios don't value their customers, I truly do mean it.
Yeah.
They do not care about you at all. You are just a consumer born to pay for stuff until you die in their eyes. And that is why
Damn.
Baldur's Gate 3
That's
is so
dark.
hated by
But it's true.
modern game developers. Because it could have easily been designed to fleece its audience with predatory microtransactions or pay-to-win nonsense. And the user reviews speak for themselves. I mean, come on, just read any one of these for confirmation. This one especially, which says Larian and From Software are the only two studios that I trust. I agree with Raiden here as well. There's
Which studios?
software-
Larian from Software. Ah, yeah.
are
No, I mean there are others. Like I said, Square Enix is delivering, Capcom is delivering, Bandai Namco is delivering. There are other studios that are like making good games. It's not just pretty much every indie studio is delivering. You know, it's not just like it's not, guys. It's not the end of the world. It's not the apocalypse.
the only two studios that I trust. I agree with Raiden here as well. There's not many devs
I don't.
would say I openly trust anymore when it comes to them delivering quality products. And the list of studios gets smaller every year, the more predatory and greedy they become. So if you're playing Baldur's Gate 3, I hope you enjoy it. I hope people continue to reward and play games that actually genuinely are designed to be the best experience possible. And if you want another game, I think that falls in line with games like Baldur's Gate 3 or Elden Ring in terms of quality and content, maybe give Chained Echoes a look sometime. It's cheap and has more content and love put into it than most AAA RPGs. I'm not even kidding. But these games should not be anomalies, but the standard. So please keep playing, push back, and let
I might actually play that. It seems like a cool game. I've been looking for an RPG. Either that or Baldur's Gate 3. I still gotta oh my god, I still gotta finish Wasteland 2 though. Oh wow.
RPGs. I'm not even kidding. But these games should not be anomalies, but the standard. So please keep playing, push back, and let these studios know their lazy attempts at normalizing shit games will not stand.
Now I feel like people need to start promoting boycotts, and actually boycott games. It's like I was so disappointed when people promoted like a huge boycott for Pokemon Sword and Shield, because it looked like the game was going to be terrible, and spoilers, it was. And but people addiction for Pokemon just screamed louder, so the game was a huge success on arrival, which led to them making Pokemon Violet and Purple or something. I forgot the other. They made another game which is even worse than Brave and Shield, Brave and Sword and Shield, which is terrible. Like, it's disappointing. It's like, by the way, the other Pokemon game was also a huge success. It's like, it's really sad when like a community is not being respected. The games are trash, and like, oh my gosh, and then like, it's really sad when the bad guys win, and the good guys loses. So like, don't give the victory so easily. Like, people should like to just do something, like anything. I don't know. But anyway, man. Hold on. I'm gonna like stop the video. I don't know if I'm going to watch the second follow-up to this video. If I am not doing that, then thank you for watching this video. Sorry if I got a little bit too cringy, but I have feelings. I'm a human being. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. And yeah, like I hope things get better. I don't know. Dark times.